Forgive, perhaps. Forget. Never.
No, we are never going to forget Maggie Smith, who passed away at the age of 89 on Friday. With over 80 credits to her name, and that's just on screen, she's left us with a body of work that we can revisit and rejoice in.
And with that, I will say good night and leave you to discuss my mysterious past.
While most actors have called it a day by the age of 75, at that age, Maggie would sink her teeth into what would become her most famous character.
What should we call each other? Well, we could always start with Mrs. Crawley and Lady Grantham.
Yeah, Maggie would go on to win 3 Emmys, a Golden Globe, and Screen Actors Guild Award for her brilliant performance as the Downton matriarch.
Have you ever watched Downton? No.
In 2015, after the show had wrapped its 6 seasons of television, in a classic talk show moment, I've watched this so many times, on the Graeme Norton Show, Maggie admitted that she wasn't one of the show's faithful viewers.
I've got the box set.
Makes me smile. The way every year we drink to the future, whatever it may bring.
Well, what else could we drink to? We're going forward to the future, not back into the past.
If only we had the choice. It got to a point when it was too late to catch up.
Now, it's not because Maggie hated the show. Of course not. No. She just doesn't like watching herself on screen.
It's always weird. Of course it's weird. You know, seeing yourself in a... It's always... You know, mirrors are tricky.
Well, her cast members certainly watched her on screen and on set and are now honoring the, as Hugh Bonneville put it, a true legend.
Oh, do you think I might have a drink? Oh, I'm so sorry. I thought you were a waiter.
Her on-screen son said, "Anyone who ever shared a scene with Maggie will attest to her sharp eye, sharp wit, and formidable talent. She was a true legend of her generation, and thankfully will live on in so many magnificent screen performances. My condolences to her boys and wider family." After its TV run, Maggie would return to the Downton world for a feature film, which was a massive hit in 2019, and for the sequel, Downton Abbey New Era, which featured her character's death in 2022.
I hope I haven't been a disappointment. You were always so much cleverer than me.
True. But don't let that come between us now.
In June, before Maggie's passing, Hugh reflected on the Dowager's on-screen passing. "It came home to me quite early that this was the last time I'd probably have a scene with this woman, who'd been my screen mom for all these years. I went through a mental Rolodex of all the characters I've been aware in my life that she'd played, from Desmonia with Laurence Olivier to the lead character in 3 Tall Women. These great iconic roles that meant so much to a generation of theater and film goers. And I had this extraordinary position of being her on-screen son for all these years. So it really hit home that day that this was coming to an end. It was a very special day, actually. I'm sure I wasn't alone in finding it a very moving experience."
I didn't think you'd last the course.
I know.
But I was wrong. Now that's something you haven't heard me say until now.
It was worth waiting for.
Her on-screen daughter-in-law, Elizabeth McGovern, tweeted, "I will miss you so much, Maggie, all of you, all the pain and the fury and the wit and the loyalty and the bravery."
You save your tears for something sad. There's nothing sad here. I have lived a privileged and an interesting life, and now it's time to go.
Her on-screen granddaughter, Michelle Dockery, said, "There was no one quite like Maggie. I feel tremendously lucky to have known such a maverick. She will be deeply missed, and my thoughts are with her family."
Sorry about the vase.
Oh, don't be. It was a wedding present from a frightful aunt. I have hated it for half a century.
Dan Stevens, who was Maggie's scene partner for one of her funniest moments on the show,
But has thrown in the towel prematurely. Good heavens, what am I sitting on?
A swivel chair.
Oh,
he wrote on his Instagram story, "Truly one of the greats, rest in peace."
There's no logic in it.
oh no, but if I were to search for logic, I should not look for it among the English upper class.
Alan Leech, her on-screen son-in-law, was always willing to pull out his Maggie Smith impression in interviews.
She said I was fine in my career until I did Downton Abbey.
It's ridiculous. I led a perfectly normal life until Downton Abbey.
Everybody left me alone.
I mean, I've been working around for a very long time before Downton Abbey. And, you know, life was fine. Nobody knew who the hell I was.
She goes, I can't even go to Waitrose.
It has changed. Never mind, eh?
And you...
Alan said in the wake of Maggie's passing, "Maggie was a master of the craft and a delight to be around. As a world audience, we have lost one of the greatest. My condolences to her sons and grandchildren, her family, and dearest and closest friends. It was an honor to know and work with a true legend of the screen.
You'll be rewarded in heaven.
The sooner the better.
Joanne Froggatt wrote on Instagram, "Today we lost a true legend. It's hard to find the words to pay tribute to the iconic Dame Maggie Smith. I shared a screen with her on a very few occasions, but was fortunate enough to be in her company on many. She truly was a trailblazer with the sharpest wit, the greatest talent, the naughtiest sense of humor. She was a force to be reckoned with. She had a charisma that you felt would live forever. In many ways it will. And underneath all that, a huge heart. Thank you, Maggie, for always being supportive and kind to me, for putting many a smile on my face with that sharp wit that no one could match, and for showing the rest of us just how it's done. Rest in peace, Dame Maggie. My thoughts are with your beautiful family."
What is a weekend?
Lily James posted on her Instagram story, "A once-in-a-lifetime legend. I will forever treasure the time I spent with Maggie Smith. The great legacy she leaves behind. Rest in peace."
If I'm going to the theatre, then I ought to change.
Yes, I should.
Paul Giamatti, who guest starred in one episode, said, "She was a genius and a delight. A privilege to be around her. The kind of actor who makes you proud to be an actor. I'll never forget how sweet she was to my 12-year-old son when he visited set."
And action!
One of the great reasons I did this is actually to work with Maggie, however much we dislike each other, because...
My favorite aspect of the show was always scenes between Maggie and Penelope Wilton.
She would not relax her grip.
You make me sound very fervent.
Wars have been waged with less fervour.
Well, let's hope we win this one.
They did co-star in the two best exotic Marigold Hotel films as well. I even suggested at one point that they do a remake of Grumpy Old Men. They're not good together. That never happened.
I'm a feeble substitute for the entire Crawley family.
Yes, but you're better than nothing.
How warming you make that sound.
As a younger actress, only slightly, but a bit younger, only just a little bit.
78-year-old Penelope, 11 years Maggie's junior, hasn't made a public statement since Maggie's passing, but I think she'd probably say exactly what she said to Maggie when she was sitting right beside her when they sat down to do interviews for the Downton Abbey film in 2019.
When I was a young woman and starting out, the person I admired more than anyone was Maggie Smith. So I saw her in everything.
Things.
I don't understand your position.
When you were at school?
No, I was at drama school, I think. And I said I wished I could be like her, which I never could, actually, but...
Penelope, no, I'm very touched.
I know, but that's the truth. So there we go.
How you hate to be wrong.
I wouldn't know. I'm not familiar with the sensation.
So it's like working with a heroine. And one doesn't have many as you grow older.
Oh, do
So
stop.
there you go. I can only say that. There you go.
Well, I'm very...
I know with you in real life.
I
but
know you do, I
said-
can tell. But I'm very humbled by that. It's terribly nice of you. That is all I have to say on the subject.
Yeah, Maggie was quite taken aback by the praise. I think because Penelope mixed in, the humor with it. But yeah, it's even more lovely to watch it now. The fact that, Penelope got to say that to Maggie when she's right there.
And action! Coming down the stairs, not expecting to find him there, waiting.
Always very kind, very professional, very funny, both in her acting and off the screen. And you never had to explain a line to her. You never had to explain why something was funny or any of that stuff.
Simple vulgarity is no substitute for wit.
Well, you started it.
She had a marvelous instinctive grasp. And of course, her great gift as an actress was that she could make you cry your eyes out one minute and then laugh like a drain the next without turning into someone different. She could synthesize the character to have all these different aspects.
Yeah, Maggie was simply stunning on that show. Like they've all said, her balance of comedy.
So put that in your pipe and smoke it.
But when she did the drama, she would just, knock you out with just the power of just a very simple gesture. Yeah, even just the back. Her work speaks for herself, and I'll let her have the last word. Rest in peace, Maggie Smith.
You'll always be with us, Granny. Staring from every picture. Talking from every book. As long as the house stands.
Sounds very exhausting. Do you know, I think I should prefer to rest in peace.